Just a minute, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Ramita, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Start, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. A warm good evening to one and all present here for the webinar on emerging trends in data analytics, organized by Department of Data Analytics. I am Dr. Nida, Assistant Professor, Saveetha College of Liberal Arts and Science. Feel privileged to extend our warm welcome to today's resource person, Dr. J. Gerald Sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, Loyola College, Chennai. I also welcome all the participants from various reputed institutions to this 5 days International Faculty Development Program. On behalf of our department, we extend our profound gratitude to our respected Chancellor, Dr. N.M. Veerayan Sir, respected Director Madam, Dr. Ramya Deepak Ma'am, respected Principal Ma'am, Dr. Gunita Arunchinduk Ma'am. I am also glad to invite Mr. P.K. Sudhakar Sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Data Analytics, to introduce our chief guest of the day. Thank you.
Sudhakar Sir. Sudhakar Sir. Sudhakar Sir. Sudhakar Sir.
Yes. Ma'am, good evening, ma'am.
Please introduce the...
Sir, good evening, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sir, good evening, sir. Dr. Gerald Iniko, an Assistant Professor of the Department of Computer Science at Loyola College, is one of the most, if not the most active persons in the college, born in 1973, hailing from a small village in Virudhunagar district. Mr. Gerald Iniko has reached great heights at a very young age. He completed his bachelor degree in computer science from Xavier College, Palayam Gottai, after which he did his post-graduation and the MPhil from Madurai Kamaraj University and his doctorate in computer science and statistics from the University of Madras. In his tenure of 18 years as a faculty of the computer science department, he has been the faculty advisor of the Sports and Games Committee, the founder of the Training and Placement Cell, founder of Student Branch Council of Loyola College Students Computer Science, Computer Society of India, etc. He was also the director of the Resource Center for the Differently Abled and project director of Model Resource Center of Disability Services of Loyola College. He was also elected as Secretary of Computer Society of India, Chennai chapter from 2018 to 2020, and has set it as a model chapter at the national level and received many awards from the same, which includes the prestigious CSI Significant Contribution Award. Dr. Geralenico is favored among students and staff alike. He has held several key positions such as Deputy Dean of Students and has made countless contributions benefiting the student community. He has a good network of professionals and experts in the tech industry, which has assisted in organizing conferences, seminars, and workshops to keep up with the latest trends. Today, many of his former students are holding key positions across the world for a standing ovation for his perseverance and passion towards making a difference and to the contribution made to society. In brief, he's a man with accomplishments, but let's his actions speak for it. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Now we are handovering this session to Dr. Gerald.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for the nice introduction.
Thank you, sir.
May I have my presentation now?
Yes, sir.
Is it visible?
No, sir.
It's visible, sir.
Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
Thank you. So welcome participants. So there is an obligation from my side to understand your priority. I would like to conduct a survey now. Are you all ready?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to share with you a link through which you can give your input. Okay, kindly watch the next 5 slides, numbered from 1 to 5 on the top. You need to tell me which slide that you like the most through the link shared to you. Please watch the next 5 slides. So this is my first slide. This is my second slide. This is my third slide. This is my fourth slide. This is my fifth slide. Now it is your turn to share your input, okay? So now it is your time for sharing your input through the link shared with you. The link is also shared in the chat window. Hope that all of you have done this exercise.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, believe it or not, knowingly or unknowingly, we have been using statistics in many ways in our everyday conversations. Nobody can escape from it. We used to talk like this only. See, the boys are always like this. The girls are always like this. The men are like this only. See, these terms are straight away related to the statistics. When we cannot control the boys, so we used to tell, right? But the boys in front of you are a small sample population. So the population of boys cannot be counted. But in front of you, there may be 50 students. See, from those 50 students, you would generalize. The boys are always like this. So you might see 5 or 50 students in your class, 50 girls in your class. You may generalize usually. See, knowingly or unknowingly, we are using the statistical terms every day. So I would say the statistics are related to the summarization and the generalization. What do you mean by generalization? Is the agenda today. We will be discussing those things in the agenda displayed over there, introduction. So why I chosen this topic today, and the statistical techniques for such activity called data screening. Then we will discuss some of the concepts and we will try some of the calculations also. And the Python libraries for supporting the activity called data screening. And we will discuss few samples, okay? And then we can conclude the session. So first of all, I would like to tell you what the statistic is. Say straight away taken from the dictionary. So the dictionary says statistics is the practice or science of collecting and analyzing numerical data in large quantities for the purpose of inferring proportions in a whole from those in a representative sample. As I said in the beginning, so we are trying to generalize with a sample what we have at hand. And definitely the last line also applicable to statistics, that is also from the dictionary. So the standard error is a mathematical tool used in statistics to measure variability. See, this is what I found in the dictionary. And since we have included data analytics also in the topic, I need to discuss what the data analytics is. So this is also from another website, which is shown below. A method to collect, clean, analyze, and interpret the data in order to extract actionable insights which would give or which would guide business decision making. See, since I have been coordinating business data analytics, I have chosen the business decision making today. See, what are all the things required in order to make a business decision? See, who are all you are targeting, what has happened in the past, and where the event took place, and where did the event happen, or when exactly, and why did the event happen. Okay, see, this is what we can do with the data analytics. See, the objective of the data analytics are who am I targeting, what had happened, where did the event happen, and when the event happened, and why did this happen, why it happened to me, or why it happened to my business. Okay, those are the objectives of data analytics usually, right? Since we have discussed both statistics and data analytics, we can easily find out the similarity. That means we cannot differentiate. We cannot take away statistics from data analytics. That means I would say data analytics is the application of statistics only. So then let me discuss about the kind of data analytics we can do. See, there are 6 types of data analytics in the literature, but I have chosen only the 5 data analytics for you. So the number 1, descriptive analytics. Number 2, diagnostic analytics. Third one, predictive analytics. And fourth one is prescriptive analytics. Fifth one, cognitive analytics. See, in the literature, you could see so many explanations related to descriptive analytics that is absolutely from statistics only. See, that is why it is called as exploratory data analytics. See, we rely on data every day in order to prove something. See, in the beginning, I was talking about the men. The men are like this. The boys are like that. Okay. See, if we cannot prove it, that would become myth, or that may be treated as a rumor, right? See, in order to prove, we need certain steps. Okay, those steps are from the analytics and especially from the statistics. Okay, so the first step is the exploratory data analytics. So the exploratory data analytics purely depending on statistics. Okay, we will be discussing all those stuff today. Right. See, why are we going for those kind of analytics? Okay, here are the business cases. Okay, so the use cases that lead for the analytics. See, the descriptive analytics allows the business to decode the inner context and the reason behind the previous success or failure. See, what had happened may be related to this particular analytics. And the diagnostic analytics helps the businesses in solving critical challenges. and drill down inside the data to find the reason or factors that affect the industry usually. The third type of analytics, predictive analytics, will assist businesses to forecast the future and to predict market trends, changing customer behaviors, and competitor analysis to optimize and build state-of-the-art strategies to maximize business outcomes. And the fourth one is prescriptive analytics, which advise businesses on all possible outcomes and results in action that are likely to maximize the business output. And the last one is cognitive analytics, simulate the human thought process and extract the hidden patterns from data to be used for decision making and business intelligence. See, the last one purely helping you to automate the entire industry. See, the rest are all for our own purpose. See, in order to automate, we need to go for cognitive analytics. And see, here are the difference among the analytics. So the first one is descriptive, which will correct the data. Why to correct? See, I can take the motivation link from the previous day deliberations. See, one of the participants was asking about the difference between noisy data and the other one. What is the other one? Can anyone tell me? Are you all there? Are you all with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what was the deliberation? One of the participants was asking about it, right? So the noisy data versus okay. So I need to go ahead. I haven't get any of the answers from the participants. What was the deliberation? The noisy data versus okay, so the comparison would tell you how complex the cognitive analytics is. And these are all the taxonomy of the data analytics. There are so many techniques involved in each of those analytics. So what motivated me to take up this particular topic, the data screening. So the cleaning of bad data is one of the primary job of any of the data analysts. See, according to Gartner, bad data costs businesses anywhere from $9.7 million to $14.2 million annually. Why to say? Why bad data? So the bad data is absolutely a waste of time. So when data is bad or unclean, the results would also bad. To my experience, I collected 7 years of primary data in order to prove my statement. See, I enrolled for research few years ago, and I spent 7 years just to collect data. See, when I was defending, I was showing 89.7% of success of my model. See, when I say 89.7, nobody was appreciating. See, they were looking for 100% result. Unfortunately, I was deleting one of the column. Then I tried my model. Then it was showing 98.6. See, then I realized if I could have deleted that column earlier, I would have achieved a 98.6 result in my thesis or in my research. See, that is how we may realize the importance of data cleansing. So I have took up the data cleansing today. So in order to support my talk today. See, here are the characteristics of statistics. So the first characteristics I got from the web says statistics are aggregate of facts. Statistics must be numerically expressed. Statistics are collected for a predefined purpose. Statistics should be collected in a systematic manner. Statistics are placed in relation to each other. Statistics is a group of methods or techniques. See why I am highlighting. See, since I read the myths of statistics also. See, there I could find the limitations of statistics. So the first limitation says you cannot apply statistics for the entire data you have or a singleton data. So if you have a singleton data, you cannot get result. So you need to have at least 300 rows of data. You have to choose a minimum 300 rows of data. Then only you can build a model. So the characteristics of statistics is mentioned over here. Right. So in order to get in order to build quality, data quality or improve data quality, we need to do certain activities. So here are the activities mentioned over here. In order to clean the data or cleansing, remove the duplicates, remove irrelevant data, standardize capitalization, convert data types, clear formatting, fix errors, and need to handle missing values. Why I am highlighting all this? See, this is originally the job of data analytics. The data analyst must do all this. So in order to remove duplicates, how the statistics would help, maybe the talk of today. How to remove irrelevant data, how to standardize, how to handle missing values. So we are going to discuss cleansing through statistics. Okay, see, when you have the quality data, those data could have the 5 characteristics. So the first one is validity, second one is accuracy, third one is completeness, fourth one is consistency, and the fifth one is uniformity. See, here I have discussed the definition also. The degree to which your data conforms to the defined business rules or constraints. So that is how it becomes valid. So as I said, in my own perception, I need to validate. See, since I haven't validated my data, it leads to certain error. So in order to avoid those kind of errors in my model, I go for the cleansing. See, your data must be the complete one and a consistent one. Okay, let us go for the statistical approach for cleansing. See, in order to check accuracy, we need to find mean or average of a data set. Why to find a mean? Why mean is so much of it important? Or what is mean? So you may be well aware of a mean, right? So mean is nothing but the average. See, if I take 10 values, one may be 3, and another one may be 5, or another may be 8. Likewise, if I have a data set between 0 and 10, that is definitely normally distributed, and definitely the difference between those values may be very little varied. But if I choose the values between 0 to say 10,000, so if I choose value between 0 and 10,000, definitely the mean and the variation will go. So in that case, I cannot consider that one as the standard data set. See, for example, when you compare the wealth of or the people who has assets below 1 crore and people who have assets above 100 crores, that may not be the same. See, in order to have a consistency, in order to have valid data, we may go for the mean method and the variation. Okay, we will be discussing all those stuff here. So to identify unusual pattern, again, the mean, median, and the quantiles and the interquartile range methods are used. See, wherever you go, the mean is absolutely necessary. So finding of mean of your data set is absolutely necessary, right? And in order to determine normality, we may go for the chi-square. Okay. So these are all the things we are going to discuss today. So in order to make a better data, in order to have better data for analysis, we can go for statistical techniques. And I am here to guide you through one of the process is computing standard deviation. Shall we do a mathematical computation now? See, here are the difference. Okay, initially I was talking about one particular statistic. So we need to differentiate. The sample is different from population. So that is the main assumption of the statistics. See, we cannot take survey of the entire population. See, when I say boys refers to every boys in this world. So we are going with the sampling approach. Okay, we cannot conduct survey with all the boys, right? So in order to conduct a study of boys, we can have a small sample. So that is why this particular formula is varying. Okay, so I can explain it through a calculation. So in order to compute a standard deviation for a set of values, we can follow these steps. See, in order to find mean, which is arithmetic mean of observations. So in order to find square differences from the mean, we may compute in the following way, right? So these are all the steps to find out a standard mean. May I expect everyone to use pen and paper in order to follow the next slide. Shall we try how to compute a standard deviation, because this is one statistics will reveal everything. I hope all of you have a pen and paper with you. So if you want, you can take your calculator also. Can we start? See, I am presenting one of the smallest set to you. One of the smallest set A, having values 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 and 10. See, this may be a numerical number representing crore bodies. See, the first one is having 3 crores of asset. The second one of having 4 crores of worth. And the third one 5, fourth one 6, fifth one 8, and the sixth one is 10. See, in order to compute standard deviation, what was the first step I mentioned? The first step is finding mean or average. See, when you sum up all these elements, then you would get the sum of all the elements listed here. See, then how many numbers are here? See, there are 6 elements here. So when you add all these elements, you will be getting sum. So 3 plus 4 plus 5, 6 plus 8 plus 10. So totally 36. So 36 is the sum of this particular observation. So you have 6 members or 6 elements in this set. So the mean could be calculated like this. So 36 divided by 6. So the mean is absolutely 6. 6 is already part of the set. So that means definitely it may match. It may match with the standard deviation exactly, right? So let us move on to compute the standard deviation. So in order to find out standard deviation, we must compute variances. So how to compute variances? So you may take the difference between each and every element with the mean. So that is why I put a variant 1 as a 3 minus 6. So what is 3 minus 6? So 3 minus 6 is 3. See, 3 minus 6 is 3. So that's why and when you take square of 3, it would be 9. Right? Are you following? So likewise, we can find out variances for all these elements. So variance 1 is 9. What is V2, V3, V4, V5 and V6? So we may compute so that we will get values like this. Then what will be the next step? So the next step is we need to find out the sum of variances. So when you sum all these variances, definitely you will be getting 34. Then what will be the variance? Okay, so 34 divided by 5. See why 5? See, already we have computed a mean with the help of n values, right? But the statistician said if you use n minus 1, so 6 minus 1 maybe 5 will give you the freedom. So the freedom value is 5. So that is why I have computed a variance as 6.8. So this 6.8 may be contributing for my standard deviation computation. So standard deviation could be the square root of 6.8. So I may go with the 2.6. See, when you compare this 2.6 with the 3, the difference is very less. When you compare this 2.6 with the 4 is very less. When you compare this 2.6 with the 5 is also very less. But when you compare this 2.6 with the 10, may be varying. Very high, right? But the standard deviation would tell us this is absolutely normal distribution only. Why is it normal distribution? So we have positive but very low standard deviation here. So if it goes beyond 100, if it goes beyond 1000, then we cannot use that particular data set for our analytics. Are you getting my point of view? So that is why we are relying. See, in order to go for analytics, we may compute standard deviation to find out whether my data is consistent or not. And at the same time, we can also use the same statistical technique to find out errors in the data. See, suppose if I have say 1000 instead of 3, if I have 1000 in the place of 3, definitely it will lead to high standard deviation value. So in that case, we can reject that particular data set and we may go for further observations, or sometimes we can remove that element alone. So in that way, we can eliminate the outliers. See, when we consider age, we may start with 18. and we can go up to 110 because the lifetime of the individual increase up to 110 nowadays. But when you come across above 110, that is absolutely an error. How will we find those errors? Through statistical techniques. Okay, we will discuss all those stuff now. Right. So here is one simple example I would like to highlight. So you may be aware of the normality. So the normal temperature of an individual is 98.6. So if it goes beyond 98.6, we consider he is caught up with some other disease. So if it is below 98.6, definitely that also leads to some diseases, right? So the statistics is mainly rely on the average. That is why I have demonstrated how to compute mean. So let us move on to discuss some of the libraries that support computing the statistical values. See, here are the Python libraries that would support you for mathematical or statistical computations. See, the NumPy is absolutely related to the mathematicians and the statisticians in order to find out statistical values of the data set that you have chosen. The pandas is exactly imitating NumPy and goes beyond NumPy, would give you so many libraries in order to compute statistical values of your data set. I mean, from your population. See, there are few other libraries available for you to enjoy other type of analytics. Right. So here, I think I have the definitions for the mean and the Python functions. Okay, in order to compute. See, the NumPy.mean is one of the best NumPy function to compute mean. See now, and the median and the mode also. See, here are the definition. You might be aware of it. See, here are the other definition and the statistical techniques. Okay, we may need for our analysis. The correlation is one of the best statistical tool to compare relationship between pair of variables. So that is also computable through the correlation coefficient. And instead of using NumPy, we can go for pandas also. See, even all the statistical computations in a single line. See, when you use the describe function of a pandas, would give you the entire computation that are required for the data analytics. See, let us see few samples before we explore the statistical techniques. Okay, here is a small sample I would like to highlight. See, here is the sample I took up for one of my workshop earlier. So you might see JK shoes, yeah, rent, EB, stationery, advertising, salary, tax, income, expenses, and also the profit. See, I have chosen income and expenses, and I have also the profit. Okay, see, the profit is because of the income shown here, and the expenses are subtracted from income, so that the profit. See, the left hand side are all contributing for the right hand side. Okay, see, which one is a depending variable? So you would have experienced in computing all those stuff, right? See, we will be using two important terms. One is variable, observed variable, and sorry. See, you could see rent here, EB, stationery, advertising, salary, and tax, income are all contributing for, sorry, not income, up to tax are all contributing for expenses, and the income is a standalone here, right? See, when I go for the descriptive analytics using pandas, I could get a result like this. When I use pandas, I could get a result like this. So what is highlighted over here? See, when you see count per month is 22. The count for rent is 22. The count for EB is 22. The count for stationery is also 22. See, the first row, I mean, the count are 22. That means I have no missing values. So when you have lesser than 22 over the count, then definitely you need to attend for it. So you need to go for the missing values. You have to update it with the right value over there. So what will be the next one? See, here you could see the mean and the standard deviation, minimum 25 percentile, 50 percentile, 75 percentile, and the maximum. See, when you have variations between minimum and maximum, minimum and average, see, that should be acceptable. Otherwise, definitely you need to reconsider your data. You need to change your data. So that is what the statistics says. When you have bad data, definitely that will lead to bad result. See, these are all the statistical computation about the data which I am showing here. See, when you see, since I have a better data without any missing values, or without errors in my data, I could easily get the result of my data. So the result says from April 2021 to Feb 2022 is going up. So the trend is up. What it means? See, I am going on profit month after month. But I could see there is a dip in my profit. So from April, between March 2020 to April 22, there is a dip in my profit. When I see a dip, I may go through my data again. See, so the rent is increased from 1 lakh to 1,20,000. EB is increased from 3,000 to 5,000. The stationary requirements are moving from 500 to 1,000. So likewise, from March to April, I could see up in the expenses. See, this is because of the quality data I have analyzed. So otherwise, you cannot get such a result. So I go to the next sample I have. See, here are the rates, or here are the rates against other currency listed from 2013 to 2023. See, I must acknowledge one of my students in the previous batch. He has collected all these stuff. See, you may think of why or how I placed a 58.5 in 2013. Whether it is representing all the 365 days, you may get confused. See, in 2013, there must be 365 days. How can I put a 58.5? See, I have taken up an average of all the days in 2013. See, I have collected a historical data and I have put up only the average. I can go with the minimum also. I can go with the maximum also. Why I put average? So that is again statistics. So when you put average, you will get a better result. So as I said in the first example, the temperature. So the normality. So the normality says, see, here also I have no missing data, no error in my data, and that is why I am getting 11 for year, 11 for US dollar, yen, and so on. So no missing data. And the minimum and maximum also is representing from my historical data. So that is how the statistics would help you to devise or get a standard data. And the normal distribution can be checked through these statistical values. Finally, the analytics. So the analytics says the truth about the data. So this is how we can go for data analytics. See, it is absolute necessary. It is absolutely necessary you go for data cleansing activity. I may give one more sample from my slide. I think I have skipped that one due to, I think I have placed one more slide and which is missing, and you can take away my own example. When I removed one of my column, I was achieving higher results. So whether you may remove or you may change your data or replace it with the right data so that you will be able to get a better result. And definitely in the definition itself, we have seen errors. So definitely errors would be there. How can we predict those errors? See, there are two errors highlighted in the literature, a type 1 error and a type 2 error. Why is it occurs? So if the investigator rejects a null hypothesis that is actually true in the population. So what do you mean by What do you mean by hypothesis? See, I was supposed to talk about hypothesis and all, but due to interest of time, I have skipped a few slides. What is hypothesis after all? See, when you want to prove something, you need to have hypothesis. So the hypothesis zero is the null hypothesis you wanted to prove. See, whenever you select a statement, then you need to take it as a null hypothesis you wanted to prove. So if the null hypothesis is not true, then you may go for alternate hypothesis. So how alternate hypothesis should be taken? See, that must also be from your research only. So when you reject a null hypothesis, then you will encounter the type 1 error, that is false positive. And the type 2 error occurs if the investigator fails to reject a null hypothesis that is actually false in the population. See, these are all the difficult time. See, when you cannot concentrate on your data due to time and cost and any other factor, it will lead to error only. And finally, the limitation and challenges of the statistics. The statistics does not deal with the individual measurements. See, we are using statistics in order to summarization only, or we may go for inferences from the summarization. So in the previous example, I was showing the dollar value against Indian rupee, but I have chosen the average value. I cannot keep all the values in those 365 days. I have chosen average of it. So that is how I have reduced those 365 columns, or 365 rows of data into a single column. This itself the benefit of statistics. So the statistics is a really beneficial one. The statistics deals only with the quantitative data. The statistical results are true only on an average. So that means definitely error would be there when you go for devising a model. So as I said, in my experience, I was getting only 89.6 only in the beginning. So statistics is only one of the methods of studying a problem. See, there are so many alternate, but statistics is the better tool to identify the suitability of the problem and the suitability of the data set. Then the statistics can be sometimes misused. So these are all the limitations and the challenges I found in the literature. So here are the references, and I would like to conclude this FDP with the gratitude for the organizers for inviting me for this talk. Thank you so much.
Yes. Good evening, sir. I am Dr. P. Malati. I extend my sincere gratitude to everyone who contributed to success our faculty development program. I thank to our distinguished speaker, Dr. Gerald, for sharing their expertise and insight the knowledge in the field of statistical analysis in data analytics. A special thanks to Data Analytics Department for organizing this FDP. And we are carrying the wonderful knowledge for this is useful for our academic activities and research activities. Once again, I thank you to all of your valuable contributions.
Ma'am, shall we take photo? Participants, can you come in video mode? Please turn on your video so that we can take a snap.
Yeah. I think it's not enabling. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We thank all the participants. Thank you.